Can't run. Can't run from me. I'm coming to get you. Wow! Hey there, guys. This is Reckles with WTBGold, and today we're not going to be talking about how to make 1,000,000 gold or a gajillion gold an hour. Instead, we're just gonna. I just got finished with my move. My studio is officially set up. I have a green screen. If I wear a green shirt, I'm gonna be invisible. With that, I just want to get back to the basics, and I want to talk to you guys about just how to not be broke ever again. Let's not worry about making a bajillion gold. Let's just not be broke. So I have 3 things. If you just make it part of how you play WoW, you will be fine. You maybe won't be rich, but you'll be fine. Actually, first, let me show off my new studio real quick. I'm wearing pajama pants, don't tell anyone. So this is what it looks like, all set up. I'll do a full walkthrough if you want. The audio here might be a little echoey, but that's just because I gotta get all this foam padding stuff. These are not like the normal things. These go in the corners, and they trap the low sounds. If you want me to do a video on that, just talking about like, hey, you're an aspiring YouTuber, you want to know how to get started, then let me know and I'll do a video on that. But let's get into it. Now, the first thing that I wish I could say it was only a new player problem, but like I see people who have been playing since vanilla do this all the time. They skip looting.
I wonder if you guys agree. Oh, Soda Residred. Okay, I was a lot of times 3,000 rated. I was actually the first person in the world to hit 3,000 rated.
Like step number 1 is loot everything. Get into the habit of looting everything. Like, you may think 12 silver or 1 Tide Spray linen or 1 uncommon armor piece isn't worth it, but I promise you it is. Just since BFA, on 1 character, I've looted 500,000 gold. On my Demon Hunter that I've had since the launch of Legion, I've looted 5,000,000 gold, and I don't sell anything on him. I have a bank tune for that. If you skip loot, you're missing out on a lot of cumulative stuff. Just to test this out, I went out and did 2 zones worth of world quests, and my results were I got 500 gold in cash and vendor items, I got 300 gold in cloth, and 2,500 gold in just disenchantable stuff. I wasn't going out of my way, I was just clicking on all the sparkly stuff on the ground. Now, let's say you don't have enchanting on that tune. Let's just round it to like, 2,000 gold a day that you're missing out on. That's not a whole lot, but that's 60,000 gold a month. That's 700,000 gold a year. And that 700,000 gold is the difference between feeling like, I'm all right, and broke. But let's take away your excuses. Why might you not be looting things? Well, first, you might just not see it. So there are degrees of sparkles on the ground. If you don't see the sparkles, go into your game settings, systems, graphics, and then turn that up to at least high. There's not much of a difference between high and ultra, but there's a huge difference between low and high. Next, you might just think that it takes too much time. The first thing I do on every single character that I roll is I turn on auto loot. That way, I just right click with my mouse and it automatically loots things. We're good to go. Another little trick, this one doesn't actually change things that much, but I see you guys asking for it down in the comments all the time. There's an add-on called Faster Loot. And what this does is it just takes away the window when you click on something and it like loots 1 item, and then it loots another item, and then it loots another item. It's just, that's gone. So you click on something and it's just immediately in your bags. Like I said, it only subtracts like a second per looting, but it stops sucking. Like it doesn't feel slow to loot anymore. It's just click done and you're moving on about your day. The last and final tip for looting, like I told you, this is all basic stuff, right? The last and final tip is to download Tradeskillmaster. Now, I know you may think Tradeskillmaster is a big hunk-a-munk. It is. It's a big program. But the best thing that it does for most players is tooltips. Like, it gives you the price, the value of everything you loot in the tooltips. And that does what... I guarantee you that you've been running an old raid or you ran Oldemon and you vendored an item that you didn't know was worth 50,000 gold. If you get a super rare BOE, you now know that you can sell it for 250,000 gold when you might have just put it up on the auction house for 30k, because that would have made you happy when people would have spent 250k on it. Now, the second habit I want y'all to get into the habit of is never passing up a node. Just tell yourself the mantra whenever you log in, like, I will never pass up a node today. Every time you see that little bitty dot in your minimap, I want you to click on it. Now, if you have mining and herbalism, this is great. This is a lot easier. You'll make a lot more gold this way. But at the same time, if you do, you might be passing up more nodes than you realize. For instance, I went out and did a test with the 2 World Quest zones, and in that same time, I also got about 300 herbs and ore. Let's assume like 20 gold average, something like that for all herbs and ore combined. That's an extra 6k. Again, 6k might not seem like much, but when you add it up monthly and yearly, that's 2 million gold a year. And that's the difference between being broke and being like hella comfortable. I want you to stop thinking of each node as like 5 seconds out of your way, and instead think of it as that node will yield, a monolite ore node will yield an average of 4.5 ore. Each ore will sell for an average of like 40 to 50 gold. And then that's a lot better. 200 gold for 5 seconds, that's a better trade-off. And the other thing I want to say here is don't pass up fishing nodes. In my 2-zone test, I actually did pass up every fishing node, but that's because I didn't have the find fish option. So if you also, I want you to look on your minimap, click on the magnifying glass, and see if you have the option to find fish. If you don't, here's what I want you to do. You gotta fish up the weather-beaten journal. To get it, take the portal to Karazhan, head out to north or south Stranglethorn Vale. There are pools of wreckage that give ironbound trunks all along the coast, and the journal will be in there. I got mine in my second one. So fish are selling for about 20 gold. Each pool has an average of 4 casts in it, and each cast takes 10 seconds. So that's like 100 gold in 40 seconds. That's fine. All right, so the first 2 habits that we talked about are all about getting more stuff on just a regular basis while you're doing the things you're already doing. The third thing is the other end of the equation. You gotta sell the stuff. So you got to get into a habit of using the auction house. A lot of people avoid the auction house. They don't like it. They don't want to spend all day at the auction house. So here's what you do. Get into the habit of just logging out of your tune at a mailbox by the auction house. What you're gonna do, especially if you have the add-on Tradeskillmaster, is you're just gonna, while you're there, run up to the auctioneer, scroll your mouse wheel to post everything, and then you go log out by the mailbox. This actually does a couple cool things. It gets you into the habit of consistency. Consistently selling things every day. This stops you from stockpiling things and holding on to them in case someday they grow, and whatever. Just get it out of your bags and make the gold. Make your gold. The second cool thing it does, whenever you log into that character again, it reinforces how fun it can be to make gold. Like, you're there at the mailbox, so of course, before you go out and do all your World Quest stuff, or your raids, or whatever you do, you're gonna check the mailbox. And you'll see, like, holy crap, I made 45k while I was asleep. That's a really good feeling. And then you think, like, I bet if I spent an extra 10 minutes here, I could turn that 45k into 60k. And then, like, and then you do that, and it works, and you get 60k, and you're like, oh, if I rolled a second tune and started using more professions, I could double that. I could get and then you're getting like 300,000 gold, and you're just making millions, and you have more WoW tokens than you know what to do with. Or maybe you don't. I'm not saying that you have to love gold making, but it's fun, and it's addictive, and it's a good time. And there are so many ways to enjoy gold making. I'm going to leave some links down in the description. Some really cool gold makers out there. There's Billy Vadas and Hecons, who are good friends of the channel, and they've helped me out a lot. What they do is You know how some pets are more expensive on some servers and they're really cheap on others? They just do something called pet arbitrage, where they buy they buy the pets on the cheap servers and they sell them on the more expensive ones, and that's just free WoW. They're just generating WoW tokens day in and day out. Gumdrops, the guy who runs the Tradeskillmaster Discord, he just does crafting professions and he keeps an eye out for really cheap materials. I do a very similar thing. I just do crafting profession stuff for the most part, but I love farming. I'm super risk averse, guys. So to me, there's added benefit if I can look at my mailbox, and even if it's not as big as Hecons or Gumdrops or some of those other big players, I know that 100% of what I'm looting is pure profit, and that feels great. So go check those guys out. I hope you find something that you enjoy. Again, with this video, I'm not trying to get you to go out and be a gold maker and have 5 druids multi-boxing. I just want you to do what you normally do on a day-to-day basis, but maybe you'll catch the bug. And then you'll dip your toes into the hot tub of gold making a little more. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys a whole bunch. If you aren't subscribed, click all the buttons. Click a like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day, guys. Good luck and happy gold making.